Just before a man or a woman dies, people often lean in to hear their last words. Their last words are very important. Their last words to their family, their friends, might be the most important words they ever say, actually. As we move into what is known as Holy Week, as part of the Passover, part of Easter celebration just before Easter here, I want to focus on the seven sayings of the cross. So I'm going to go Monday through right through till Sunday morning, actually. What were the last seven sayings of Jesus from the cross? So he's hanging on the cross. There's seven things he says. One of them, well, I'll name them. So one, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. Two, this day you will be with me in paradise. Three, woman, behold your son. Son, behold your mother. Four, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. That is, my God, why have you forsaken me? Five, I thirst. Six, it is finished. And seven, Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. So the importance of these last seven words, the seven last sayings, also called the seven last words of Jesus, not only reveal what was most important to our Savior at this time, but several of these words helped actually the fulfillment of the messianic prophecies about this historic and momentous event. The first one, Father, forgive them. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Who do you think he was talking about there? Like, who was he referring to? Was he referring to the Pharisees that were at the foot of the cross and wagging their fingers and pointing, their words at his heart and insulting him? Was it the soldiers also at the foot of the cross playing games before him, just gambling with his clothing? Who literally, the guys that drove nails into his hands and the guy that shoved a spear into his side and the ones that put a crown of thorns on his head and jammed him down? Was it the disciples that scattered in fear rather than walking by faith or trusting what he said? Was it maybe humanity as a whole? I'm thinking humanity as a whole. And what's so amazing about that was that despite the worst sin ever in the history of the world, I mean, crucifying the Son of God has got to top every sin, right? But that didn't even produce one unloving word, not one unkind word from Jesus, not one curse word, no condemnation from him whatsoever. This is remarkable. It's at the very least remarkable, but it's profound at the most. The crucifixion is the worst of humanity. Killing, doing the worst they could do to the best of humanity in Jesus Christ. And Jesus, in the midst of this, he actually reveals his utter compassion. He represents the Father so well. He has no compromise in his love and his majesty. Not one rude comment. He has love even for the most vile of humanity and the vile sinner, such as any one of us might be. And that means there's always hope for a lost soul. We might think, well, I've done such and such. God could never love me. Well, who are you to think that? Are you like the religious leaders that shook their fingers and mocked Jesus as he bled and died there? Are you like the dutiful soldiers that drove those nails through his hands and feet of the only Son of God, who jammed a crown of thorns on his head? Wow. Shoved a spear into his side. Are you worse than those guys? Have you done something worse? Guess what? His word for you would be the same as it was then. Father, forgive. Forgive. His prayer would still be, Father, forgive him. Father, forgive her, for they don't know what they're doing. And you know what? Even if you did know what you're doing, even if they knew what they were doing, knew exactly what they're doing, he still, with outstretched arms, says, I love you and I forgive you. Trust me in this. Trust me in this. Trust me with your life. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing.